A credit card based for people who spend money on music? No way. That's just not possible. The Chime credit card is in fact not for music goers, but for people who are trying to build their credit when they're just starting out. I saw this card mentioned on Reddit and figured to be a great card to review, so that's what this video is on. A new age credit card, well, a secured credit card to help build credit. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Jacob Fisher, and today we are reviewing the Chime credit card, and allegedly users who use it or have used it in the past have increased their credit score by an average of 30 points, which, you know, that's pretty good. This was just based on the average using the Credit Builder credit card since September 2019. Let's just get into the details of this card and whether or not it's good. First, it'd be important to talk about what Chime is because it's not just a secured credit card provider. It's sort of a banking company that has spending, savings, and a credit builder account. However, the banking services are provided by Bancorp or Stride Bank. They are more focused on being a savings account company and more recently a credit builder company. They have a high yield savings account at 0.50% APY, which you can watch my other video on how I am beating savings accounts. That's for, you know, a different thing. But you can combine your spending debit card with your savings accounts to round up every purchase. That's a neat feature that I think more companies should introduce. Maybe Chase should offer that. If you spend on a credit card, you withdraw it out of your checking account. If you have both, of course, it just rounds up your purchases to the nearest dollar and then puts that into your savings account. I think that's a great idea that people should do. It seems pretty simple to implement as well. But that only happens when you use their debit card. What about the credit builder card? The Chime credit builder is very straightforward as it's a secured card, so your credit limit is whatever amount of money you decide to put in there. There's no annual fee or interest fees, no credit check, and no credit minimum, which I think is very nice for a secured credit card because a lot of companies have a minimum of around $200 or more for you even to get that secured credit card in the first place. But if you don't want to put $200 down on a credit card, which I wouldn't either, it's just $200 sitting there kind of stagnant, then you can put a bit less down on this card just to help you build your credit without worrying too much about that high security deposit. You just might not even like using a credit card in the first place, so you also just want to keep your balance low to like 20 bucks. You just want to keep that balance low and build your credit. There are no spending bonuses with this card, unlike the Bank of America secured cash rewards card where you earn cash back on your spending, and it's still a secured card. That card checks your credit though. This Chime card does not. It also has a minimum deposit of $300 and a maximum of $4,900. However, cash secured cards are generally easier to get because you are securing your own credit line, which is a smart move if you're trying to build your credit. They have a few features, one of which will sound awfully familiar if you have a credit card. They have the safer credit building, which after you turn on your balance will be paid on time every month automatically. Remarkably similar, almost identical to automatic payments with any single credit card out there. A feature you should always have on so you never miss a payment even when you don't know your bill is due, and it always just sets you the minimum just so you don't get dinged on your credit score. That's just a feature you should have on all the time. How do you establish that credit limit though, even though there are no minimums? What you can do is move money from the spending account for Chime that you need to have this credit builder account into your credit builder account, and that's your limit. You can move $50 over, and then that's the limit that you have. Once you think you need more, you could move, you know, another $50 over. Now you have a $100 limit. It's pretty simple to increase your credit limit with this company. You can even automatically do it if you just wanted to increase your credit limit every paycheck. You just move money from your spending account into the credit limit automatically. Maybe 1% of your paycheck every single time it comes in. It just goes into your credit builder account and increases your limit, which is kind of a neat feature for a secured credit card. The way this card really helps to build your credit score is that they don't report credit utilization. If you remember in the credit score video of mine, 30% of your FICO score is calculated by amounts owed, which credit utilization falls in there. With them not reporting, that means it just won't contribute to your score, saying that you have a high utilization on record. Just keep in mind a $50 credit limit won't help too much with your utilization on your score, because if you have $50 on your credit card, like you owe $50 and your limit is $50 and your utilization would be 100%, which is pretty high. Of course though, credit utilization takes into account all cards and balances to tell that overall utilization. But if you don't have other accounts and only have this one, it would show up as 100%, which would hurt your credit scores. But they don't even report that, so you really don't even need to worry about it. The two big advantages of this card is the no secured minimum deposit, which is great, and no fees. The no fees include interest and late fees, which this card just doesn't have that. The Tomo credit card is similar since it also doesn't have any interest or fees on that credit card, but that's not a secured credit card. The Tomo credit card might give you that higher limit though, and it does also report your credit utilization to the credit bureaus. Many people though, when you think of credit limit, they think, I have that much money to spend. And to quote Darren Jackson, a great YouTuber on investing, check him out, I'll link him down below, seriously. He quoted his younger self in a recent video of his. He had like a $5,000 limit on his credit card, if I'm remembering correctly, and said to his friend at a bar, he said that he basically has $5,000 that he can spend. You can check that video of his if you want the full story, but that is just a thing I've heard from other people, is that they have their credit limit, so they're like, oh, I can spend $5,000. While that credit limit is in fact that amount, you can spend $5,000, it doesn't mean you have $5,000 to spend, because if you don't have $5,000 in your checking account, then you don't really have $5,000 that you can pay off. It's good practice to spend no more than 20% of your credit limit. This just helps your credit score so that utilization is low and you never get to a point where you can't pay off your credit card because you've spent too much money. We may have strayed a little far from the Chime credit card, so let's bring it back and decide whether or not this card is worth it for you to get. Since building credit is important to do so you can have access to things like lower interest rates and higher loans, I'm not sure the credit card, at least the Chime credit card, is the one I would go for if I was trying to build that credit to have access to those lower interest rates. It's got a lot going for it, the Chime credit card, but it doesn't really strike me as a card to get because it doesn't offer me anything except for building my credit, which is good. That's a good thing. But there's better cards out there to do that. The Bank of America has a $300 minimum deposit, which is pretty high, but you earn 3% cash back in a category of your choice and 2% cash back at grocery stores and wholesale clubs. If you don't want a deposit, then also check out the Tomo credit card, which also doesn't check your credit like the Chime credit card. That doesn't check it either. But the Tomo credit card gives you 1% cash back on your purchases. You might even get a higher limit with it, but again, try not to go above that 20% total utilization. If you want to build your credit and really only focus on building your credit without actually using your credit card or only on very small purchases, then it is a great card to get, the Chime credit card. It will definitely work in that regards and probably increase your credit score. Let me know your thoughts on these cards and specifically the Chime credit card in the comments below, and any other credit cards you might like. I upload videos on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on travel and finance, so if that's something interesting to you, make sure you hit that subscribe button down there. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.